Hi, good morning. This little video clip here is just to give you a greater understanding on how to use a pendulum. The actual art is called dowsing, and I'm going to give you a little demonstration right here. So this is my pendulum. It is a rose quartz pendulum. Uh, you can get them with different lengths of chain. The chain isn't really too important, other than you have at least 3 inches from where you would hold on to the chain in order to get the swinging action of the pendulum. The pendulum is basically a tool that we use to communicate with our spirit guides. There are people that are psychic and are able to communicate with them through meditation, through trance. Most people aren't of that ability, and the pendulum is a perfect tool to actually communicate with our guides. So what I usually do is I'll take my pendulum, and because of the longer chain, I wrap it around my ring finger, bring it up through and grasp it with my thumb and my middle finger. Now you'll see here that the chain has a little eyelet on the end, and this little bead has a little eyelet, so I use that as the pivoting point, and the 2 circles create a tangency point where this pendulum will get its movement from. Now, I'm starting off this video having an understanding that the student would be already sealed in a tube of light. If you don't know how to anchor light, this is something you should learn how to do. There are different energies of the earth plane that will actually influence a pendulum, mischievous spirits. These sort of things can play havoc with your dowsing sessions. I actually have a completely sealed capsule of light around my apartment, and I actually anchor a tube of light that I sit in to do my dowsing. That way I take away any chance of an imperfect energy influencing this pendulum. So having said that, this is where we're starting. We have our anchored light, our protection. One of the things we want to do is we want to remove any negative energy that might be within this pendulum. You'll hear a bunch of different ways that you might want to do this. Some people like to cleanse them by the moonlight, like crystals, because this is a crystal. Others will run it underwater. What I prefer to do is I just ask my spirit guides to actually remove the negative energy, and then I can start with my practice. So I like to anchor my arm like so. This takes any chance of movement from my arm that would influence the pendulum, and I just get a little rocking motion going back and forth in order to get some inertia going within the pendulum. And the first thing I do is I ask the pendulum to show me my yes answer. And my yes answer is always a counterclockwise swirl. Normally it's clockwise, but I've just found greater continuity between myself and my guides using a counterclockwise. So now that I see that that is a yes answer for myself, I stop it by jiggling a little bit. Now it's going back and forth, and I ask to see a no answer. And you'll see now it's going clockwise. So the first thing I do is I ask my guides to remove any negative energy that might be within this pendulum, and I get a very strong yes answer. I stop that with a jiggle, and I ask my guides, may I douse? And you can see now that I get a very strong answer, yes, as well. Sometimes your guides will say to you that no, they don't want you to douse. This could be just because of the frame of mind you're in. There could be, I've been sitting in front of a window where there's been a strong breeze and never really took it to mind and realized that that breeze could have influenced the pendulum, and once I closed the window I got a yes answer to douse. So that is something you'll always want to do, is find out your yes answer, remove the negative energy, and then ask to douse. Once you do that, you can basically start asking the pendulum questions that you know the answer to. Myself, I have 2 children, so I'm just going to say, is it truth, I ask this pendulum, is it truth that I have 2 children? And there I get my yes answer. And I can just say, is it truth that I have 3 children? And now I go to my no answer. So this allows us to get a continuity, get a feel that we're on the right track with our questions. The questions that we ask the pendulum, because the answers are coming from our guides, have to be spot on. They can't be vague, they can't be close, you can't generalize. You must ask spot-on questions, and the other thing guides can't do is cross the law of free will. What I mean by crossing the law of free will is that you can't, they will not tell you what you should be doing or can or can't do, okay? That is a free will choice of your own. So what I do sometimes is I will ask whether they can answer a question before I ask the question. So I will say, I'll ask this pendulum, can you tell me what I should be doing this morning? And I get a no, because they can't tell me what I should be doing. That's a free will choice that I make on my own. So right then I know that that question would cross the law of free will. So what I can do is I can say to the pendulum, can you tell me whether my chakras are balanced? And there I get a strong yes answer. Now I can stop the pendulum with a little jiggle and say, I ask this pendulum, are my chakras balanced? And I get a yes answer. And that is something that I keep a close eye on, is the chakra balancing, my energy centers. So this is just basically an introduction to dowsing. There's a lot of good books out there. A lady that I do a fair bit of work, have done a fair bit of work with in the past from England, Wilma Davidson. She has a couple of good books out on dowsing, and these will help hopefully get you on your way. Again, this is a tool, it's a development tool. So having said that, you will only attain greater results and greater accuracies by the amount of time that you actually spend using a pendulum. So I'm hoping this video kind of gets you into a level of understanding where you can buy a pendulum and use it, and then you can start finding out your guides' names and what maybe some of the things you are able to do here in this lifetime, what you've come to do, and finding out basically your truth in this lifetime. Thank you very much.